Hello guys, Caller here, bringing you Game 7, a tiebreaker game between Stork and Jangbi, played in the OSL round of 16 Group B. What happened was, at the end of the first 6 normal games, there was a 3-way tie between Stork, Jangbi, and Nada. And basically now we're going to have a number of tiebreaker games that will go on until one player wins 2 games in a row. I'll explain that in 1 second. Stork is spawning in red, by the way, at the 5 o'clock position. Jangbi spawning in purple at the 11 o'clock position. This map is Hwarangdo, and Jangbi has already moved 1 probe, I believe, out of his first 5 probes out to the center of the map. So Jangbi is going to be pulling some cheese here in this map, which is so far produced for us so many games that have cheese plays in them. And this is going to be no exception from another. I'm going to expect some proxy gateways very close to Stork's base. Hwarangdo, of course, is a 2-player map, and so you know where your opponent is automatically. And what is Jangbi doing? Oh man, Jangbi might be putting some hidden gateways inside of Stork's base, and he is going to do this. This is totally oh man, this is totally ballsy here. I don't know. It's going to depend on how much Stork expects a cheese, and if he decides to scout inside his base for an in-base gateway like this. Really, normally players don't do that, but you know, he might be extra cautious. This being Hwarangdo, this being a 2-player map that's prone to cheeses, and you do have a fairly large fairly large main base here, and Jangbi now planting his first gateway inside of Stork's base. Is Stork going to spot it? Stork is moving towards the position, and Stork spots it! Stork spots the hidden gateway inside of his base. I think this is disastrous for Jangbi, because Stork will now be able to react perfectly. He puts up his gateway, and he'll probably put up a second gateway of his own to counter this 2 gateways inside of his base. This reminds me a little bit, of course, of Bisu versus Pakju, although, of course, Jangbi didn't try to build it behind Stork's mineral line, but he is building 2 gates inside of Stork's base at this point, and there'll be a lot of intense Zealot on Zealot combat very soon. Basically, what I was saying, by the way, was that the winner of this game plays the 3rd player, Nada, and if he beats Nada again, then he wins the series. But if Nada wins, then Nada plays the 3rd player, who's the loser of this game, and so on until and then the winner of that would play the 3rd player, etc., and so on until one player has won 2 games in a row. It seems that Stork's gateways are a little bit slower than Jangbi's. Stork now getting a probe scout out too, so Stork will be behind a little bit in Zealot production for now. But Stork does have the advantage, of course, of having all those probes nearby, where he can dance in and out of the probe line and kill those Zealots. And I believe Stork's micro probably will be good enough to be able to deal with this. A probe is also attacking for Jangbi, of course, using his starting probe there. And this is going to be really interesting. Stork now... Wow, Jangbi with excellent micro there, hitting Stork's units, hitting Stork, and Stork getting caught up here. He needs to use his Zealot to fight, not his probes. Probes need to basically be there to do, well, they need to fight also, but they can't absorb too much damage. 3-on-3 Zealot combat here, and wow, I don't know whose micro is better, because Stork is known for creative cheese too back in his day, and you know, I wouldn't put it past him to be able to defend against this kind of a rush. Shield battery going out for Stork also. That will help him in this Zealot versus Zealot combat, but Jangbi actually has an extra Zealot coming in from the north here, going for a little flank, and looks like Stork losing 2 of his Zealots here. Stork losing another Zealot. Stork is losing all of his Zealots here. Oh, this is terrible for Stork, and Stork's micro fails him. Looks like he was trying to go for a surround, but somehow he lost too many Zealots there, and he actually managed to lose a couple of probes. Jangbi has 4 Zealots down to Stork's 2. Stork's shield battery is up, though. And Jangbi just getting between Stork and his gateways. Oh, that's terrible. Stork's Zealot got caught up in that probe on the right side, and Stork is just falling apart here with his micromanagement. I'm amazed by this, because Stork should be better than this. Stork picking off a weak Zealot. He needs to retreat this weakened Zealot, and wow, good micro there, killing off one of Jangbi's Zealots without losing any. He needs to use a shield battery also, of course. Jangbi now targeting the shield battery. As Stork moving in, trying to pick off one, and it looks like Jangbi is probably going to pick off the shield battery. No. Wow, there's absolute, dance here between these Zealots, and really, I don't know who's going to win now. I think Jangbi still has a little bit of a lead, though. He's 1 Zealot lead, now he's taking down the shield battery, which is going to come at some cost to Stork. Stork not looking happy about this. And Jangbi now targeting the gateway, and Stork needs to I think he needs to pull his probes off and help with his combat here. I believe that's the one thing that'll help him win this battle, because otherwise, slowly, he's just going to lose his gateways, and looks like he's going to pull off 5 probes this time to go in for a big attack. And now's the big fight here. I'm not sure who has the better concave. Jangbi retreating strategically. Jangbi has his own shield battery up. I did not see that. The observer did not show that. But that's going to give Jangbi a definite advantage. He recharges shields in the middle of that battle. And I feel that Stork is definitely behind now. He's lost a number of probes once again, trying to use them in combat and not getting anywhere with this Zealot micro. Jangbi is just too good right now. Stork, oh wow, Stork losing one of his gateways. I think this is going to be game for Stork. He's going to lose these Zealots now. Better concave here for Jangbi, and Jangbi wins another very short game. This time only a 5-minute game, and Stork looks sick in himself. Jangbi looks... I can't really tell Jangbi's expression. Both of these players were, of course, intensely microing for the last 3 minutes, but Jangbi comes off on top, and now he'll face Anada. If Jangbi wins, he will be the one out of the 3 players that leaves this group. Hope you enjoyed this. This is Choler signing off.